Your father killed my father, so like, I slap you!
And our bizarre little fight scene continues with Bryce kicking Bearclaw in the stomach hard enough to send him flying. Ah, the brave crew of the Starship Enterprise. Some get into fights and others don't even try to separate them or anything. Coincidentally enough, Kirk is walking past the scene and Bearclaw gets knocked into him. Is it your intention to sit out this tour on my lap, Ensign?
Is that an invitation, Captain?
He demands to know who started it and they both respond that they don't know. But wait a second, is this ripping off that scene from The Trouble with Tribbles? No, they couldn't be so creatively bankrupt to... Wait a second, the Klingon captain was Koloth, wasn't it? Captain Koloth from The Trouble with Tribbles. So, not satisfied with ripping off Star Trek II for inspiration, they decided to dig into the actual TV series for material? Anyway, Kirk chews them out, saying that they should all be judged as individuals and blah blah blah, and they go to the bridge. Saavik reports no sign of Klingon vessels and recommends they raise shields just to play it safe. Kirk refuses, however, saying he wants to lure the Klingons out.
Yeah, it's not as if ignoring Saavik's recommendations for raising shields has ever hurt you before, right? Forget I said anything. Let's just keep Star Trek II separate from the rest of this comic.
The Klingons see the Enterprise approaching, and Koloth points out how this is his chance for revenge. Our old pal Konam the Pansy once again thinks about how awful it'll be and decides to send a warning to the Enterprise.
Yeah, betray your people and your way of life to your sworn enemy who you're expressing pity for no adequately explained reason. Wait, what?
The Klingon ships suddenly appear around the Enterprise, but they raise their shields before they take too much damage. So, for the next 2 pages, we get this pattern. The Klingon ships appear and fire, Scotty says they can't take much more, they disappear, and lather, rinse, repeat. During this, we see another failure of trying to transition a science fiction series that has fairly unique and recognizable ship design into comic form. The Klingon vessels only resemble the D7 class warships. Other times, the wings have been flattened out or are just completely off model. When the artist has room to draw the ships, they look competent enough, even though the dimensions are distorted. But when they have these squished panels and try to cram the ships together, they can't keep the ships straight. Also, in a foolish attempt at photorealism, we also get this shot of Kirk as inked by Rob Liefeld, even though it doesn't match the rest of the comic's art. Anyway, Kirk realizes the Klingons' attack strategy and blows away some of their ships. Captain's log, supplemental. My strategy was successful. The Klingons, thinking us defeated, continued their synchronized attack, leaving themselves open to a synchronized attack of my own.
Captain's log addendum. Damn, I'm good. Denny Crane.
Back on Koloth's ship, he's less than pleased by this turn of events. Damn that Kirk! He is a sorcerer! So, Kirk is Gandalf the Grey to the Klingons? 2 ships have self-destructed. 2 ships vanishing, sir. Self-destructed? You fired on them and destroyed them! They didn't do anything to themselves! Kirk, deciding to be a dick, chews out Saavik for not knowing how the Klingon ships are appearing and disappearing. He orders a senior staff meeting in 15 minutes, but then we cut to sickbay, where Dr. McCoy is doing what he does best in any episode of Star Trek. Be grouchy. Saavik stops by to talk to him, explaining that Kirk is being mean to her because he misses Spock. All McCoy can say is that she'll just have to deal with it until Kirk adjusts.
So I suddenly realized why they've been cribbing so much from Star Trek II. Their own scenes are dull and pointless!
Of course, despite McCoy's lame advice for Saavik, he takes it upon himself to visit Kirk in his quarters, where he's changing uniform for some reason. Didn't he say that the meeting was in 15 minutes? How come Saavik has time to go have a chat with McCoy, then Kirk to change his clothes, and then have another talk with McCoy? Anyway, McCoy has dialed up his cranky meter to 50 since now he's yelling at Kirk. Jim, what the hell's going on here? Explain.
Why did Paramount give the okay to this thing?
Okay, blah blah, Saavik's not Spock and Kirk has to deal with that fact. Call back to Kirk's earlier chewing out and treating people like individuals. Yeah, we get it, can you move on? Okay, finally we get to our meeting, which now necessitates a new stardate. I guess by 15 minutes, Kirk meant 3 days from now. They talk about what could possibly be causing the ships to appear and disappear. Kirk suggests a cloaking device, but Scotty immediately shoots that down. No sir, we cracked that wide open years ago. Yeah, right, Scotty. It's not like you'll be seeing another cloaking device in Star Trek 3 or anything.
What did I say? What did I say?
Saavik says they detected a strange energy wave, and Scotty identifies it as a wormhole. If the Klingons found a way to stabilize it, that means they could enter and exit any time they wanted. Sadly, the Enterprise is too underpowered to enter any such wormhole, but Scotty thinks he can jury-rig the transporter or a shuttle and send people into it.
Sure, just send in a few random crew members into something that you can only faintly detect and aren't even certain where they'll end up or in what shape they'll be in after they exit. Makes perfect sense.
Of course, Kirk wants to strike back at the Klingons right away, ordering Scotty to deliberately create an imbalance in the engines. I could point out that that's not how wormholes are supposed to be made, but whatever, let's just get on with it. Saavik requests to come along too, but Kirk says she's already being ordered to go along. McCoy thinks to himself, "Good boy, Jim," even though I'm not exactly certain why this suddenly means he's going to stop being a jerk to her. Kirk also orders Bryce along. Why? Anyway, they walk to the transporter room where the engineers are already working on it. For no particular reason, Kirk brings up that Bryce's psychological profile says that she remains calm under extreme pressure. Yeah, which explains why she was stuttering only 3 panels ago, and why her reaction to getting slapped is to kick a guy 5 feet in the air. Kirk also tells Uhura to call the Council of the Organians. Why? It's something to do with the original series, and it doesn't matter. In fact, none of this matters.
Why am I still reading this? It's a black hole of blandness, sucking in anything resembling interesting character development, and the tiny ounces that we get just feel forced!
Blah blah blah, technobabble, nothing exciting, multimodal reflection sorting, people are beamed away in spacesuits, and finally, last page! Kirk and Bryce rematerialize in space, and we discover the shocking secret of what's on the other end of the wormhole. It's a Klingon space station, Bryce, with enough firepower to destroy the Enterprise. And anything else they choose.
That's it? A space station capable of destroying anything they choose? Kirk, I hate to break it to you, but the reason that they call it a station is because it's stationary! It doesn't move! So it can't really attack anything, can it? This comic sucks!
It's got continuity issues up the wazoo, the artwork is dull and crowded, and the writing is snatched away by other, better material.
I mean, what could they possibly hope to achieve by ripping off Star Trek II? I mean, why would they... My God. The tricorder function of my Nintendo DS is picking up some strange neutrino emissions from this comic. The particles are organic in nature. My God, this comic is actually becoming alive.
Yes, Linkara.
Yeah!
I have been draining the life from Star Trek II, feasting off of its quality. Now I'll drain even your life force, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
You're going down!
Come on, You can't hurt me with that thing. There's not even any way of loading it. But how? You have to explain it!
Explain it? It's magic. I don't have to explain it. No, you can't get away from hell's heart. I stab at thee. For hate's sake, I spit my last breath
See, even I can do it. It's not that hard.